Cherie's Senior Showcase is on the air. Cherie's Senior Showcase on WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM is an informative and fun show that features events, resources, and news that Elgin seniors can use as a guide to help them get the most out of the golden years. Senior Showcase also features trivia, games, and prizes. So pick up the phone and participate today by giving us a call at 847-931-1410. That's 847-931-1410. Today's program can also be viewed and commented on by going to WRMN 1410 Radio on Facebook. Seniors, don't forget to mark it on your calendar to listen to this show on the third Tuesday of each month at 9:15 a.m. And now, we welcome you to Studio 14 in downtown Elgin as we introduce our host for Senior Showcase, Cherie Aschenbrenner.
The time has come again. It's Cherie Senior Showcase June edition to talk with you about senior events and senior issues and things like that. And you can talk with us, too, if you want to call us in the hour at 847-931-1410. 847-931-1410. We're on YouTube, at WRMN Radio on YouTube, and we're also on our new text number if you want to text us that way and ask a question or whatnot at 505-926-1410. I'll keep an eye on that, too. That's 505, by the way, if you're listening for the first time. A new text number, 505-926-1410. Just another way to reach us at WRMN. How you doing, Cherie Aschenbrenner?
Good, Mark. It was 2 days in a row. I got to see you yesterday, too. Sat next to you at the senior volunteer luncheon.
Yeah.
It was very nice.
It was nice.
Very nice. A lot of looking at all those people that make it all happen. It's
I think that the people that drive around and drive seniors around and stop in to see seniors and things like that and visit with them at their homes, those people really sacrifice a lot of time, and their efforts should be commended a lot.
Yep. But it was very nice to see everybody there yesterday.
Yeah, it was.
So I'm going to get started. I'm going to start out, of course, with some of my announcements. I am happy to say that now my senior email list, I have 1,815.
Wow. You've gone over the 1,800 mark in the last month?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
A recent surge.
Yes.
Nice.
So if you want to be on my senior email list, you just call me at 847-289-2626, or you can email me. My last name, Aschenbrenner _C. Aschenbrenner, the common spelling.
The common spelling.
_C at cityofelgin.org. But just call me, because then I can add you. Not a problem. But it's kind of nice if you're on it, because you're going to get all the alerts that I send out, whether it's community events, scams, the radio show, our Triad events, senior announcements, just anything that seniors need to know. Just a variety of things, so it doesn't hurt to be on it. And a lot of seniors tell me they even share it with other family members or other seniors.
Yeah.
One of the things I sent out yesterday is about this excessive heat that we're having right now and expected the rest of the week. Did you know we have a few cooling centers in Elgin? One of them is Senior Services at 101 South Grove, Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. The Gail Borden Library, the main library over here on Grove, 9 to 9. On Monday through Thursday, and 9 to 6 Friday and Saturday, Sunday noon to 5. The Gail Borden Library on Raco Branch, over there on Bowes Road, same hours. And the State of Illinois facility, 700 South State, Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5. Those are some cooling centers. Again, if you have any questions about any of this or you have an issue, please call 311. That's what we're here for, you know, and happy to help and get you the resources or get your questions answered. So just call 311. Just some hot weather tips. Stay hydrated. I heard you say that this morning.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Avoid overexertion. Lock your car doors and trunks and keep keys out of the children's reach. And make sure your pets have a lot of water and shade. And don't leave your pet in the car. Will you please leave them home in this kind of weather? It's too hot in the car for them, even with the window open. It's too hot. So
that doesn't happen very often around here, so a lot of people do bring their pets with them and sometimes make them, sit in the back seat for a few minutes or wherever when they go in the store, but maybe not this week.
But you think you're only going to be in for a second. I'm just going to be in for a minute. Something happens, and then it's longer. So I would just, I'm a dog lover. I would never take my dog in this heat right now. Medicare made ABCD easy. Today is they're having a little a presentation. There's no selling. It's just information about turning 65 and still working and answering your questions about A, B, C, D made easy Medicare questions.
Yeah.
It's going to be today, 6:30 to 7:30 at the center of Elgin, 100 Symphony Way.
And catch their show on the first Tuesday of every month from 9 until 10 right here on WRMN.
Yep. And if you want to go, I'm sure you can still call 630-320-6906. Okay, so it's tonight, 6:30 to 7:30. Our Memory Cafe, we had a really huge turnout. We had a little beach party this month. It was so fun.
Yeah.
Next month, we are celebrating the Elgin area Memory Cafes. This is our 5th year that we've been certified as as a dementia-friendly city.
Wow.
So Mayor Captain's coming. It's going to be July 9th at 4 to 5:30 at Stanley's, now known as El Flaco's, on McLean Boulevard and Spring Street there, next to the CVS.
And
so,
hopefully they'll have all the sand out by next meeting, because you had a beach party there last time, right?
No, yeah, we just had the beach balls and sunglasses.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, but the mayor's coming. He's going to bring his wife, too. And then we're going to have the seniors that are there that have the memory issues, we're going to have them take their picture with the mayor, and we're going to do it on a Polaroid camera, and then we're going to put it in a frame for them to take home. So,
nice.
And a cake and some balloons and all that. So it's just a big celebration next month. So if you guys need to come or want to come, let me know. My next show is going to be next month, July 16th. And Steve Burness will be here. He's so excited.
Oh,
he can't wait. He's got new scams for you all. New scams.
The newest scams.
Yes.
Breaking news scams for you next month with Steve Burness.
Tip-offs with the rip-offs.
Love it.
And then July 18th, the Elgin Township Triad. Our picnic is on the 27th, and I did mention it is full. Yeah. We had 200 calls in 7 minutes, so it was insane. But it is full. So that's the end of this month. But the next Triad event is going to be Thursday, July 18th. We're going to talk about scams and estate plans. So we got the South Elgin Police, and Kane County Sheriff. They're going to talk on the latest scams targeting seniors at 10 o'clock. And then 11 o'clock, we got a couple attorneys coming in, Judith Schenning and Taylor Spooner. And we're going to be talking about health care, POAs, property healthcare for property, POAs for healthcare and property, wills and trusts, that type of thing. And then a complimentary lunch, too.
Okay.
We're not taking RSVPs yet until after this picnic, so one thing at a time.
Where's it going to be at?
Senior Services.
Oh, okay.
Yep, right there at 205 Fulton. RSVPs will start on June 28th. I will send out this flyer to you. If you're on my email list, you'll get it.
Okay.
Having a fundraiser on July 19th. At Senior Services, 205 Fulton, for the dementia-friendly Elgin area. Everything that we get donated is going to go to them. If you want to get a haircut or your nails done, you get your haircut, we suggest a donation of $10, and we'll do your nails for $8. So if you want to come to that little fundraiser at Senior Services, and they're going to have raffle baskets and stuff too there. So
where can you get a $10 haircut?
I know, or your nails done for $8.
$8.
That's right. Yeah. So if you want to call for an appointment, this way, if you call for the appointment, then you don't have to wait. Call me 847-289-2626. And then if you're the Kane County Animal Control, their next date now is not until August. They just had one June 8th. So Saturday, August 3rd, 10 to 1. And that's going to be down in Geneva on Kenslinger Road, where you can get your low-cost rabies vaccine and microchip. And if you are a senior citizen, 65 and older, it's only $15 for you, for your pet. So I have a few more. We'll do this later if we have time.
Okay.
But I want to get started with our guest today. And I met Suzanne at, I guess she was at the ECC Senior Fair.
Oh.
She said she saw me there. She reached out to me, and I have never heard of a certified death doula. I'm like, what?
Right.
So this is Suzanne Johnson, and she owns a company called Finishing Well. So I said, I need to have you on my show because I don't know what that is and what that means, and it was just fascinating to me. And she's also is from Elgin. She lives here in Elgin, so I want to find out how she got into this.
Well, it looks like there's a lot to it.
Yeah.
By the script over there.
I have many notes.
Mark was very excited. He's like, he's never had a death doula in the studio before.
No, first time.
Yeah. So, Suzanne, welcome, and tell us about what is a certified death doula and how did you get into this?
Hello, Elgin. I am super excited to be here to share what is a death doula. You know, I know people have to Google that. That's okay. I'm going to share, really, I want to start with my experience and how this came about. So my lived experience, it really started years ago when I was at church and I was on the prayer team. People would come up and have me pray for them, and relationships started to be built. Their family would come to church. It was really an opportunity to minister to their family, and the people, sometimes they didn't make it. So, just a following through on all of that. My career is in the corporate environment. I have worked many, many years in HR, benefits, payroll space, all throughout the Elgin area. What really changed my life was COVID. My dad had COVID, and I lost 5 other family members during that time in 1 year. And I had to take a look at my life's mission, and really the idea of quality, not quantity, became my focus. And what are the things that matter to me most? What are the things that matter to the people who have died? And death will change you. And as this many did a number on me.
I bet it did.
There was a lot of healing that had to happen. And another catalyst was I was passed over at my job for a promotion. And I thought, I've given so many hours, sacrificed many, many time, and to be passed up, it was kind of the final push that I needed.
That was your sign, huh?
It was time to move on. And so the whole death doula really kind of came into my lap. I wasn't looking for it. I didn't even know what that even meant, really. So my life work now is about having real meaning, not just EBITDA goals, but, the mission of Finishing Well is to offer compassionate support for individuals and their families while they are on this end-of-life journey. I encourage open conversations, fostering meaningful connections, and empowering the dying to lead their own unique experience. Just like a birth doula, we're all different. We all have our own experiences. And this is a sacred transition. And together, we can journey through this end of life with dignity, understanding, and profound respect. So certification really can take some people maybe 6 weeks. It took me many months because other life things were happening.
What is that, a class online, or what?
It's a class online.
Okay.
I joined it's called INELDA. It's International End of Life Association. I went through a career path. It's online. It's called IAP. And you do your own studying. There's different modules, and you pass them. But it's not only about the end of life and the end of life process, but they teach you how to do a business plan, how to start a business, taxes. They teach you about running a business and starting. I pay for a mentor, and I got my certification in January, and she pushed me. She said, you get out there, you need to go educate the community. Who cares if you have a business card or a website? Just get out there and start talking to people.
And how I met you, because you went to the ECC Senior Fair. That was a huge good idea.
Yes.
Because look at all the people there. And now you met even with me, and now you're coming to dementia-friendly Elgin area. You're going to come to Triad this Thursday, Elgin Township Triad. That's great, because see, that's where you need to be. You need to be with all of these other senior organizations.
Right.
You're going to get your name out there.
So, there's a lot of life coaches out there, and I kind of just view this as an end-of-life coach. So that leads me to, what does death doula do? So,
well, I'm going to say it has to take a special person. It does, because I don't know that I could do that. I don't.
Yeah.
It's just too sad, But somebody's got to deal with it. Somebody's got to help you through that. And there's great that there's people like you that can do this and help others.
And you really have to have a passion for it.
Absolutely.
I love old people. I lost my mom and my dad within a few, years of each other, and that affects you. So the end of life doula is really about planning. If this is advanced care directives, funeral arrangements, and also legacy projects. Legacy projects are something that you need a little bit of time for, but these are, I'm also a local artist, been living in Elgin for almost 30 years and have been an artist in the area. I don't sell a lot, but that's not why I do it. But legacy projects is really a fun thing to do with the family. It can involve recipes that your grandma had or your mom had, putting them together. I had a lady who was really big on writing letters. So she had letters that were saved from like the 1950s, and you get to read her descriptions about life and how they moved to different areas and how she connected with the mom and the brother. And
what did you put them like in a folder so
yes.
it's nice for the family then to have?
Well, there's really easy programs where you just scan those and then you can put them into a book. Okay. And also these photo books. There's really a lot of easy programs that are out there that can take photographs but there are things that your elders can leave for the next generation.
Yes, that's nice.
The biggest issue is these advanced care directives. I'm spend a little bit of time on advanced care directives because those are so important for planning. What do you want to happen with you? Are you a do not resuscitate? These advanced care directives are a free resource. They are online. You can get them at the Illinois Department of Public Health website. There's a form, it's called the POLST. It is a practitioner order for life-sustaining treatment. I can help you fill those out. I offer a 30-minute free consultation. We can knock that out in 30 minutes. But there are questions that you need to answer for yourself. Do you understand what a DNR means? That means do not resuscitate. If you're super healthy right now and you don't have an advanced care directive, what would happen if you were in an accident and you had to be put on life support? Think about physical therapy and the recovery process. Can you actually do that? Can you afford that? Do you have plans for long-term care? Think about your quality over your quantity if something tragic happens. Do you want to have your organs donated? All of those things are spelled out on that POLST form. These are the things that you want to keep, and they can be updated. So say you haven't looked at that form in 15 years and you got remarried. Do you want to have your ex-husband have some of those things on your living will instead of your current husband? So that's why those are things you want to take a look at. So those forms should go with you if you do end up in a nursing home, and it's very, very important that you have those. They need to be signed off. They need to go to your doctor, and especially in a nursing home. I just want to tell a quick story about, I did a short stint in a nursing home, and there was a resident, and she was 92 years old. She had a do not resuscitate. That means if her heart stops, you're supposed to let her go. The poor caregiver came in and saw that she wasn't breathing, and they called 911. And, CPR came. Medical professionals, they do a really good job of keeping people alive. They're really good at that.
Yep.
This poor lady, they had to put her on the floor because you can't do CPR on the bed. Got her on the floor, started CPR, broke a bunch of ribs. She punctured a lung. She actually had to go into ICU, and she was put on a ventilator, and she did die two days later. But that's not what she wanted. She did not want that.
Right.
So I am your advocate. I am going to make sure that your wishes are followed through.
Now, Suzanne, one of the firemen locally here had come on and talked about that one time. He's done several talks for Triad. He said, too, that if you have to see that, like if you're at home and then the paramedics and the firemen come in, and if they don't see that, they're going to save you. Right. So he's like, you really should have that on your refrigerator right there.
Right.
So that we can see it, because otherwise it doesn't exist.
Right. Well, the nursing home, we did a full audit. We went through all of the paperwork, and we found people that didn't have anything on file. And so it's really about having a good death. What does that mean? It means being able to pass at home. 7 out of 10 people want to die at home. That's not always the case. It's only about 30% of the people, they end up dying in the hospital, in the nursing home. And so I am your advocate for those things. What are your feelings on intubation and ventilation? What if you talked to your child 15 years ago and you said, this is what I want, but then something happened and now you said to a different kid, this is what I want. That's all these kids remember. And so we just want to be planning for this so that we don't have this happening when you're on your deathbed and your kids are having these conversations. What if you don't have children? That's really important to have. Death doulas offer emotional support. The biggest thing right now is companion care for your loved one if they are dying. I do charge $30 an hour for companion care. And this is needed for those that, maybe your parent is living with you or your uncle or something, and they're taking longer to pass. You need some time for respite care. That's when people call me. When they need 4 hours, that they need to go back to work for 4 hours, or they need to go and do something with their other kids. That's where people really call me for that companion.
Because we did talk about that too. Let's just say you had an out-of-town wedding on the weekend and you didn't want to leave them. Yep. They could call you.
And I will do overnight stays. I will stay for an hour. I do have a 1 hour minimum just because I don't know how far away you live.
Right.
Death doulas also create sacred spaces. So, when your person is dying, you want that room to be peaceful. I have diffusers. Sometimes people are sensitive to candle smells or things like that. I think a diffuser is good with that oil. I don't have candles, but I do have battery operated to kind of set the ambiance. Sometimes your family wants to listen to blues or rock and roll music. When we get to sitting vigil, when they're actively dying, sometimes that music is not good. We also address cultural and spiritual needs. Sometimes people want to have, there was a lady that every morning the family would gather and there would be, one of the sisters would say a prayer. She'd have a poem that she would want to pray. The woman was very Catholic. They wanted to do the Lord's Prayer every morning, and all of that is acceptable. Sometimes people haven't dealt with their spiritual needs in a very, very long time, but when you get that diagnosis and death is coming for you, you're kind of forced to look at that. What do I believe? And I allow for open conversations. I allow for you to really dig in and what does that mean to you? Very respectful on those needs. We also support grief and bereavement. I have a lot of resources for grief share after death. When I get hired and somebody dies, my job's over, right? Mm-hmm. And so, but I don't stop there. I reach out to you via email. I give you support for bereavement, how to get some grief small group. Okay.
I was going to say, I think we might need to take a break at the bottom of the hour.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we'll come back
and
finish what we're talking about.
Yeah, you're listening to Cherie Senior Showcase, 9:30. If you have any questions, comments, you're welcome to call 847-931-1410. During the break, we'll line you up. I'll check YouTube and our text messaging at 505-926-1410 and see if you have any thoughts there. We're joined by Suzanne Johnson this hour, and we're talking about being a death doula and things of that nature. So keep it right here on WRMN. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to Cherie Senior Showcase here on this hot summer day to be. And we're talking with Cherie and her guest, and good conversation so far. We got trivia coming up in about 15 minutes. Dunkin' Donuts certificate today, right? Mm-hmm. Cherie? Or Dunkin'?
Dunkin'.
They've dropped the donuts part.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't say that. It's Dunkin'.
Yeah, so they're Dunkin' now. The donuts wasn't cool enough to keep in the name. So that and some booklets are going to be our trivia prize in about 15 minutes, okay?
Yep.
Well, sounds good. Well, welcome back. If you have any questions, 847-931-1410 for our guest today.
Yeah, or type it. Type it if you want.
Right.
Okay. All right. So we left a break, and now we're picking back up. Where were we?
Yeah, so we were talking, I left off on supporting grief and bereavement. The one thing I want to say is I'm in the early stages of starting what is called Death Cafe in Elgin. There was one a few years ago in Elgin, but there wasn't much support around it, so I'm going to try to bring life back into Death Cafe.
So what would you do at a Death Cafe?
Yeah, it doesn't sound too inviting.
Right.
I mean, maybe that's why it's struggling. Maybe you need to work on the name a little bit.
Yeah. So what it is, it's part of this whole death positive movement. Like, death is the number one fear in America. So what do your therapist and your support group, they say you got to face it. You got to talk about it. And that's what we're going to do. There's really no agenda. Have you experienced death? Are you going through a death process? Do you not want to live? Any of those things. So we're just going to really talk about it. We have coffee, and then we have some sweets.
Is it something where if a spouse passed, they could come to that? Is it kind of a little bit of a grief support something?
Yes, really grief support,
okay.
death
that
support.
That is needed,
Yeah, so it's called Death Cafe.
Okay.
It's a full organization, and I did the training on that.
Now, where would you hold that?
So that's the problem. Right now, we're looking for a space.
Okay.
But please watch for what's happening in Elgin. My Facebook page is called Death Doula Elgin -finishing well. So if you search in Elgin, Death Doula Elgin, you'll find my page. There's I have a couple of speaking engagements that are coming. You'll find information about that Death Cafe. So that I hope to start in the fall on that Death Cafe.
Okay.
So another death doula item that we do is collaborate with healthcare professionals. And I want to collaborate because we support hospice. We support your healthcare practitioners. I want to stress again, I am non-medical. I am not going to give morphine. I'm not going to do any of those life things. As a doula, you would think I'm a caregiver, but I don't do, the changing and the cleaning. I don't do all of that. It is really, I am actually under hospice. If you think about hospice, they might come in one time a week, and your family might have questions. Your family member who's dying might be going through some things, and you don't have the answers. You can call me at any of those times.
You're the advocate.
I'm the advocate. I can tell when I arrive at the home if your family member is in pain. I can tell if their brows are furrowed. I did have a lady who she would reach for me every time I would come in, and I let her hold my hand, and she gripped me like it actually hurt. And this lady was dying, and I could tell at that moment that she was in pain. So I talked to hospice. We talked to the daughter about how the daughter can give the pain meds, and made sure it was going to be every 4 hours. After we got the pain under control, she was gone in 2 days. And so it's important, and I can tell that.
Yeah, and you don't want your loved one in pain.
The thing that is causing them pain is